Hi guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. Welcome to a spend a few days with me. This video is sponsored by Psychic Source. You guys know I've been working with Psychic Source for a while now, but I'm still very excited to tell you who they are and what they are about. Psychic Source is the most trusted psychic service with over 35 years of experience connecting seekers with professional, vetted advisors via the phone, chat, or video text to provide clarity, guidance, or whatever that you need at that point. I personally have been struggling a lot lately, especially this past few months, so I just felt like it made sense for me to reach out to someone who I know would help guide and also clear up a few things and a few decisions that I have made and I'm also will be making. Obviously, by the time you guys see this, you would have seen by the title that I have made quite another drastic decision. Obviously, you guys, you know that I've been working with Psychic Source for some time. So there's a lot of things that I like about them, or else I wouldn't keep going back. But the one thing that I do like the most is that how cheap their readings are and also how easy their website is. The interface is quite easy, and I know that, you know, getting a reading can be nerve-wracking. I get nervous all the time, and I've been doing this for a couple of years. But now when you are nervous, you don't need to be like in a website that's confusing. The interface is quite easy. You load in your credits, your money, you choose a psychic based on how much you can afford and based on their descriptions are there. So if you want a love reading, it's clear that this person is for love. If you want a generic one, it's clear. If you want career, it's clear. So you don't have to go through a lot of processes just to get a reading. I love the fact that you can either choose to chat, call, or video call your advisor. I usually go for the chat options. I have done the video call before because it was a reading that I did that required, you know, I felt like it just required a lot from me, but I prefer the chat option because with the chat option, when you log in, your chats are there. You can take a screenshot if you want. You can print your chats also. So sometimes maybe you might understand what the psychic is telling you at the time, but maybe you want to read it later and process it later. The chat option for me, which is my favorite, allows for that because you can print the conversation or you can take a screenshot of it and you can just look at it later on and process whatever it is that you need to process. Some people love phone calls, they have that option, and some people love video calls, they have that options. I do feel like with video call, if you are getting a reading from an intuitive reader, an intuitive psychic, then maybe a video call would be better. But for me, the chat option has worked wonders. I've done psychic readings, astrologies, and most recently, which was now, I did a tarot card reading. Another reason why I like the chat option is because it feels more relaxed. You have a time to type in your question, because sometimes, you know, when you're calling someone, you feel the pressure. You might feel the pressure, to answer and have the next question ready. You can do a chat, it's relaxed, it's there, and you type in your question whenever you're ready. And another thing with Psychic Source is that they don't require much from you. They just require your full name and your date of birth. So if you're doing a love reading, you will need your partner's or specific person's full name and date of birth. But for you, if you're doing one for yourself, all you need for them to continue the reading is your full name and date of birth. Some don't even need your date of birth, some just need your full name, which for me shows how these people don't know you. They don't know you from above, so whatever it is that they're reading for you or about you is authentic. To top it all off, when you do a reading on Psychic Source, some of your proceeds go to charity. So you and the company are not the only one who benefits. And for me, that is an amazing initiative that, okay, for every reading you do, they donate to a charity of their choice. As mentioned, you guys, this reading, I did something I don't usually do, where I did a tarot reading instead of getting like an actual psychic, and it was amazing. She read me. She actually read me, and she was so amazing in her delivery. She was kind, she was compassionate, and she asked if I had any questions. And yeah, I think the compassion for me is what, you know, would always make me go back. But with that being said, I want to talk, let's go back, before I get to today's reading, let's go back to the testimony. So earlier this year, I started working with Psychic Source, and I think it was my first reading. Yes, it was my first reading. And it was in end of January or beginning of February, I can't remember, but I was going to a vision board party, and before I went, I was just like, you know, before I go to a vision board party and put down my plans and my visions, maybe if I could get like some guidance on, you know, what areas of my life I should focus on. And one of the readings that I got there was that I was going to meet someone in March, April. And for me, I was just like, that's ridiculous. I was just like, that's ridiculous. Like, what do you mean I'm going to meet someone in March, April? at that point, you can't tell me that I'm going to meet someone in March, April when I'm with someone. I was with Original Rappelling at that time. And my psychic said, yeah, I see someone coming into your life March, April. But I didn't take it too hard. So I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, whatever. I continued my life. I continued dating Original Rappelling. And then March came. And March went. So I was just like, I knew nothing was going to happen. This is the love of my life. I'm with my man, whatever. And then April came, Good Friday. I think I've said this on this channel that my current partner, I met him on Good Friday on the 18th of April. And at that time when I met him, and Original Rappelling were broken up. We did break up. And I wasn't expecting to meet anyone. I was very heartbroken about my relationship with Original Rappelling. And then I met my man, and I was just like, at that time it didn't click. It didn't click at all, up until one day I went back into my psychic source reading, one of my readings, and I saw that it was written, you're going to meet someone in March, April. And I was like, no ways. Absolutely no ways. And that for me, I was just like, I knew that the things that they've said before, I personally don't usually go into to see my future. I go to psychic source because it's either I've made a decision and I just need to feel at ease about it, or I need clarity about a situation. But I'm never really like someone who tell me what's going to happen in the next month or so. I'm not that person, because I feel like if I start doing that, I'm not going to enjoy life, because I'm going to be waiting for this moment to come. But with that being said, whenever I do get the readings, they will throw things like that in there, so I was just like, okay, cool. I think I was asking about Original Rappelling because I think we were on shaky grounds at that time. I think I was asking, is this a person for me, whatever. They're like, no, you're gonna enjoy this person, it's fine, he is, it's for you for now, but you will meet someone in March, April, and the person that you're with now will always be in your life lingering. And I was just like, there's absolutely no way, this is the love of my life. So that's one of the testimonies, basically. My second testimony is that last month I wasn't even doing a campaign with them. I just decided to go online. Obviously, as this video progresses, you guys will know that I've quit my job, and I've been feeling some type of way. I've been feeling some type of way for some time. I think, like, you guys would have picked up. Someone in one of my comment sections said, being Amanda's employer might be so crazy, always catching strays at every vlog. There came a point where I started openly talking about my disdain for my working environment. And I did a reading a couple of weeks ago, in the beginning of June, because I was just like, I was just feeling so discouraged about life, and it was just like, what is going on? What's going on with my career? Where am I supposed to be? What is this? Did a reading, and one of the people that did a reading with me said he sees something big coming for me in July. I was just like, oh, it's my birthday. He was like, no, something in your career, something's going to happen for you in July. And that for me, I was just like, oh, thank you. I needed to hear that. But there's also like a part of me where it's just like, okay, fine, something's going to happen in July. But when you're in that moment where you just feel so discouraged and you just feel so low and just feel like nothing is working out, it's so difficult to take in. But he was right. Something, is happening for me in July. I quit my job with immediate effect. And it was not an easy decision, because I actually liked what I was doing. Like any other job I've ever worked at, I like what I do. I love what I do. My work is, I find purpose in my job. I find meaningful in my job, but I am unable to handle the environments that I've been placed in. Worked at my job, and for me, it's the crazy part is that it's so difficult to come to a decision to quit and let everything go, because I prayed for this job. I got this job when I was 3.5 months unemployed, and there were other jobs I was interviewing for, but this one for me, I said, God, this is one for me. You better give me this one. It aligned with who I am. It aligned with what I wanted to do. It was just amazing, and that's exactly what it was. When I started working there, I think the biggest problem for me, it was the hours are not flexible. And unfortunately during the interview process, I was told that it is a on-site position, but they told me that we're humans, we're flexible, only for me to get there, and there was nothing flexible. You guys know I would come here, guys, how do you do it? I'm struggling. Then I asked my cousin to come stay with me. Before I even asked my cousin to come stay with me, I had to send Milani home while I figure it out. And then when we came back, Milani had to come with me. Then I had to move. Then I had to change Milani's schools, because the environment just did not allow me to be a mother. And if you've been on this channel long enough, you know being a present mother is the most important thing for me. And I've never worked in a place that didn't allow that. I've said, even with my previous jobs, whatever issues I had, I worked for companies or for people who cared about families. And unfortunately, this one, they just didn't, you know. There's a lot of things obviously that happened at work, but I think for me what frustrates me the most is that I literally rearranged my life and changed my life, and it still wasn't enough. And for me, with like workplaces where, but my work is fine, my job is fine, why is me needing to go fetch my child a problem? Why is me not being able to make it on my seat at 8 o'clock a problem? Because I need to go drop off my child. And you see that the unfairness of it all, because there are people who are allowed, who can leave at 3:30. There are people, like there was a day when I was in a meeting and someone's boss said, oh, Mang is not going to be able to come in, they're doing school drop-offs. I was like, oh, so there are people who can do school drop-offs, and this just, for me, I'm not. And I think for me, because I come from an environment where this is my second corporate job. Every job I've ever worked, guys, I come from media, publishing, advertising. Very flexible. Before COVID, I've never been in an office where I had to sit from 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever it is. I've never worked in environments like that, and I've been working for 15 years. And so even with my job last year, the one I also quit with no plan B, it was still, because we were working from home, it was still very much family first. You know, if you have to drop off a meeting because your child is sick, or if you have to do something because you need to go fetch your child somewhere, go ahead. And also working from home, it was thinking. This time for me, it felt like, and I always say this, I always say that I don't mind being mistreated. Well, I do mind, but I don't mind being mistreated if we are all being mistreated. But if it's targeted, then it starts being a problem. But in a corner, for me, I can't understand it, because my work is done. You know, I've never missed a deadline. So for me, I think I struggled with corporate to understand it. Would say my work is done. What's the issue? So that's when the issue for me started happening. Even when I moved Milani to a school that was triple what I was paying, luckily Milani was happy. And so it worked out. In a way, it worked out, you know. So I was like, okay, cool, God. If it meant that I need to suffer a little bit at work to see that my child needs to be in a different school and she's happy, then it's fine. I'll take it. Then for me, that's when, you know, it started. I think it was earlier this year. Yeah, Feb, March. Then for me, I was just like, okay, that's just you guys, I moved here in April. So the move here was because instead of being at work at 8, I would get to work by about 20 past 8. Like, there are people coming at 9, 9:30. Some people even coming at 10. But if it's me, it's a problem. So I was just like, then I'd be told things like, oh, you haven't been here long enough to deserve those merits of coming in at 20 minutes later. Then I'm just like, but my work is done. My work speaks for itself. Guys, I can't leave my child at school at 6:30. For me to make it to work at time, I have to leave my child at school at 6:30. And I think for me, so what I'm saying is that if it's like that for everyone, then sharp, so be it. But it wasn't like that for everyone. So I started feeling like, Then it became better. I put Milan in a better school, and it became better. Then there was little petty things, you know. I remember speaking to my therapist about it. And guys, one thing I don't speak to my therapist about is work and men. Because for me, I'm just like, I'm not wasting an hour. I'm not paying an hour for something to talk about men or work. But I found myself speaking about it, and my therapist was like, no. You know, trying to make me understand the kind of people that I work with or report to, you know, if this is how they operate, this is the kind of people they are. And I remember saying to my therapist, like, it's not that bad, it's not that deep. I was willing to stay for 2 years at my job. I'm willing to stay for 2 years. Then I was just like, oof, maybe not 2 years, maybe a year. I'm willing to stay a year, and the year was going to be in October. I was willing to stay a year at my job, and I was just like, okay, cool, let's just figure it out, because it's just like petty little things that I can handle up until recently. So you guys will remember, if you're an avid watcher, you would know that in one of my vlogs, I did mention that my title changed from copywriter to communication specialist, which is amazing for me. But unfortunately, that title change and that promotion didn't come with money. And if anything, it came with more work. And I remember being like, why am I getting more work with no money? And they're like, no, you're so good at what you do. We just feel like, you know, it's for your growth, your exposure, or whatever. I was just like, I've been here before. And it feels like, and I've been seeing it a lot on TikTok, where they say that the more good you are at your job, the shittier it becomes for you. the laziest people get the most out of the work environment. And when you are good at your job, it's horrible for you. And one thing I always say in this channel, guys, I'm really good at my job. Besides just that, someone here once said, Guti, I need to learn to be humble. No, I'm really good at my job. I'm really like deadline driven. I'm a beast at what I do. And to be rewarded with a title change and more work, and when you ask about money, you're told no, and you're just like, okay, cool. I wanna learn. You know, I'm here to learn. I'll take the title change and I'll take the more work. But the more I took in, the more work I took in, the more work I got, and it was laced with disrespect. I truly, truly, truly believe that that is disrespectful. To say to someone that you're good at what you do, and because you're good at what you do, we'd like you to take on more projects without compensation. And you're not just saying this to someone, you're saying this to a black girl. They wouldn't dare to do that to another race or a man. So for me, I was just like, this is the disrespect. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. And also the manner it was done in. You know, it's not like I was spoken to. You know, it's not like, okay, this is what. It was just, this is what we think. You're good at this, so we feel like you need to take on more. And as mentioned, I was willing to take on more because I'm not even going to lie, that the company I worked for is a great company for me to learn. I learned a lot, and I wanted to stay for another year or two because I knew I was going to learn so much. It was my role I had was in line, and it was aligned with what I wanted to do in the next 2 to 3 years. And I was willing to take all the toxic environment a corner, because there were some days were really good and some days were really, really bad. But it was a balance, and it was like whatever. But what I couldn't take now is being bombarded with work, bombarded with responsibility, but not the respect. I got the recognition was by mouth. I do not have a praise kink. My love language is not words of affirmation. If anything, the more you praise me, the more awkward I get. My love language is acts of service. With my friends, my boyfriend, my mom, my children, acts of service will get me like soft. And acts of service is money. I give you the service, you give me money. So being in an environment or working for a place where they're just like, nope, we're just going to pile on. So for me, I was just like, okay, cool. This is where I draw the line. You know, this is where I draw the line for me. And I can't do it. You know, I can't do it. So and also I did voice out, like, you know, before I didn't just type in. I didn't act out of impulsiveness. I didn't act out of like emotional feelings or whatever. I did have a conversation that needed to be had, and I was told that no, there will not be any compensation. Then I was just like, okay, cool. You know, then I started making plans of my own. And, you know, obviously plans of my own is looking for another job, because at this point in my life, I can't afford to quit with no plan B, because now I've got a car that I pay for. You guys know I always complain about this car. I love my car, but I always complain about the fact that I have to pay for a car. I haven't paid for a car in 3 years. Now I have a car that I paid for, and now I've got 2 kids in private school. At least before it was just 1 kid in private school, but I've got 2 kids in private school. So I really cannot afford to be unemployed, you know. So I was just like, while me making plans on the side, and the plans were just not coming to fruition, and whatever. And this week everything just moved like this. Like, you know, when God was just like, okay, cool, I can tell you're frustrated. I was crying every day. I was getting headaches every day. I was popping Panados 6-10 a day. And it was not a good feeling for me. It was not a good space for me to be in. I can't tell you the last time. You guys know on this channel, when last did I go to gym? You know, I haven't been taking care of myself. I haven't been taking care of my children. I haven't been a good mother to Milani. When Alwande calls, video calls me in the evening, I have no time for her. I have no patience for her. I just don't want to. And I've said this before in a job I quit before, that how I know that it's time to quit a job is when it affects the parent that I am. The only people who will remember that I worked late are my children. So for me, my children are my everything. So when anything that I do, when a friendship affects my children, when a relationship affects my children, when a work environment affects my children and how I parent, I will have to let it go. We all have different purposes in life. Because I know some of you guys are going to be touched by what I'm saying. We all have different purposes in life. Mine, I have found that it's being a present mother. I'm very intentional about my children. So when now my work environment hinders how I parent, because now I'm always mad, I'm always irritated. I don't give Alwande a time of day. Umilane, we on a, what is that, autopilot mode. I'm not present anymore. So for me, I was just like, okay, it's time for me to go. And in this last week of June, it's God, you know, when you say God, God's timing is perfect timing. In the last week of June, everything for me just went by. I had applied for a job and everything was done quick. That job is a full-time remote job. I took a risk because it is a 6-month contract, but you know what? I've taken bigger risk before. I've resigned with no plan B. I've resigned to be unemployed. So for me, I was just like, to leave something that is permanent and it's cushion, it's safe, for something that is a 6-month contract, but we'll figure it out. But it's exactly what I need, which is a remote job. I want to be able to get back to my routine. And it's so funny because I was talking to my therapist on Wednesday, telling her that on Friday, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to quit it with immediate effect because I can't do it anymore. Every day, there's just something. I'm not even going to serve notice. I can't do this anymore. I can't, you know. And my therapist was just like, Amanda, you need to remember something. She said there are 3 types of people. I'm sure there's more, but she made an example, got 3 types of people in the corporate workspace. Kumbule guys, for me, I'm new in the corporate workspace. I come from media, publishing, advertising, and NGOs. And it's not like corporate. It's not. You have a life, you have a work-life balance, your parenthood is respected, your personal life is respected. I remember at this job, I was sick, I was off sick for a week, and then I came back to work on a Monday, and then someone said, oh, I hope you were able to get through this project during your flu. I said, y'all work when you, what? And I remember one time someone saying, oh, I said, oh, I haven't looked at the email. You sent it on Friday evening. It's Monday. I just got to work. And then she was like, oh, I thought maybe you'd look at it throughout the weekend. I said, I don't work in the ER. Like, you know, it's for me. And the reason why, guys, it's mind-boggling for me is because in my 15 years of working, I've never worked in corporate like this. I've worked in relaxed environments that only cared about the bottom line and only cared about if the job is done. If the job is done, Amanda, you can. I remember when I was at True Life magazine, my editor, God bless her, Ududu, Mashabane, she am I saying her surname right? Dudum Vimbi, but she's got Mashabane, I think, yes. Ududu would just be like, Amanda, I don't, because I'd be like, oh, I'm running late, I need to go to the doctor. She'd be like, I mean, I don't care what time you come to the work. I mean, all I care is, are your articles in? You know? My first meeting was at 11, and Dudu was just like, as long as you're here for your first meeting, and you can leave after your meetings, you know, all I care about is the article submitted. Are you available on the phone when you need it? So I'm coming from that environment, and not to say that I'm expecting that environment here, because obviously it's different, but coming from an environment that says, as long as your work is done, you will have anything that you want as long as your work is done, to an environment that says, we don't care if your work is done or not, we want you here. On our time, our terms, we want you here. For me, it was a huge readjustment and I struggled with it. Before COVID, I worked for spaces that were flexible. And then there was COVID. You guys know we've been here together on this channel since 2021. So we've known each other since, you know, a year after COVID, after the pandemic. I've been at home. Or I've been in hybrid situations, but even those hybrid situations, got 2 o'clock, if you say Alonde has soccer, I have to go quickly. Okay, cool. Are you going to make up for those hours when you get home? Or are you available on the phone? Whatever it is, like, go do. We understand that you are a human before you are a slave. Yes, I was telling you, my therapist said to me, 3 types of people in a corporate environment. If you don't fall under these people, guys, please don't attack me. You guys listen to attack and you listen to be... just if you're not part of the 3 that I'm mentioning, please, it's okay, don't attack. She said there are people who come into the corporate space and they come and they're like, this is toxic and I'm gonna fight it. And they fight it. You know, they spend their time in that work environment fighting for things to change. There are the second people who come in there and then they're like, oof, okay, it is what it is, so I just have to fit in or fuck off. They choose to fit in. Then there's the 3rd type of person who comes in and says, this is not for me and I'm going to leave. And my therapist says, clearly you are number 3. You came in and you said, this is not for me and I'm going to leave. Then my therapist also told me that it's okay to admit and own the fact that you are not a corporate girly. You are a media girly, you are a creative, and you need to work at your own time and your own rules. It's okay. Once you own that, you are able then moving forward to not put yourself in positions where you will have to now come and disrupt a culture corner, or you feel like you are being treated unfair while a culture corner in Jayan. And she was so right, because I am the this is not working out for me, I'm gonna go type of girl. Guys, there was a day when Milani was violently ill, vomiting. I sent a video saying that. The fact that I even felt like I had to send a video tells you everything, you know. I sent a video of Milani vomiting, and it was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, you know, take it to the doctor or whatever. Then the following day I was at work. I think I had gotten an email, and obviously I'm not going to see that email. My child is sick. And I was told something like, it's unfortunate what happened to your child. Yo, I think that's when the light bulb held. But I said, it is unfortunate what happened to your child. I said, yeah, okay. I've seen people in this office where their children cough and they get to work from home for a week. Mine is violently vomiting, and I was told it's unfortunate what happened to your child. It's like, okay, I work for I'm in a place where, you know, my well-being, it's not to say it's not a priority, it shouldn't be a priority, but because I've never been someone who's missed a deadline or caused problems at work, you would think that I would get a little bit of a softer landing, you know. And I think for me, maybe I am spoiled from my previous companies where I'm known as the person, Amanda never misses a deadline, Amanda is good at what she does. So if Amanda can't be at work for 2-3 days, it's whatever, because when she does come to work, she's going to pick that shit up and she's going to run and she's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So now to be in an environment where no matter how good you are at your job, we don't care. I don't know how corporate works, and I don't want this video to be this intro to be too long. But basically, you guys, I have quit my job. I unfortunately had to quit with immediate effect because I was getting sick. I was actually getting sick. I can't. I honestly just cannot be in that space anymore. And I think I mentioned it in my resignation letter that it's literally about the fact that you guys gave me a promotion with no compensation. It makes no sense to anybody's life. You're giving me more work, which means I have to stay in the office longer. I have to attend events. I have to do things. So if you don't give me compensation, how do you expect me to hire a nanny or hire someone who's going to take care of Milani on days where I can't fetch her? You know, you can't tell me that I'm good at my job, give me more work without the money. And I think for me, that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm not dissing people who who love words of affirmation, but I don't have a praise kink. Like I don't tell me how amazing I am. You make me feel awkward. Show me. And unfortunately, I wasn't given that opportunity. But with that being said, I learned so much from the company, from the work that I did. And to show you what God, I've applied for the job now that I'm going to start soon. I've applied for it before and I didn't get it. I went through the first 2 phases of interview and I didn't get it. And I wouldn't have gotten this job if it wasn't for the company I come from now. So I learned a lot. It grew me as a writer. I did things that I've never done before. And I loved it. I loved seeing my work. But unfortunately, if my work was not enough, then what else am I going to do? So I'm now moving on into a different space. God knows what it's going to be like there. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to find out. Working in that company, I got 2 amazing friends. The girls I went to vendor with, Siwi and Deboho, I got amazing women. I made amazing women. Obviously, you guys, I always say here, every company I've ever worked with, I leave with a friend. My previous company, I left with KK. The one before that, I left with Nonku, Teho, and Kunyiswa. I think majority, Ayanda, I met at work. I think majority of Yolanda, I met at work. Majority of my friends, I met at work. I think I met all of my friends at work, and I get to a workplace and I say, you're gonna be my friend. I'm leaving with you. And I did that. And also being at that office, and as much as I hated that fact that I had to move Milani's school, Milani is so happy at her new school, so that came out of that. And it came out of the fact that, as mentioned, the job I'm about to do, I wouldn't have gotten it, and I would have known how to do it if it wasn't for this job. So I did learn a lot, but unfortunately, I think for me, it's time. I have admitted it before, but through desperation, I went back. But it's time I admit and I sit with myself and I own the fact that I'm not a corporate baddie. I don't have dreams of climbing the ladder. I don't have dreams of having a seat at the table. And because of that, it's difficult. It will be difficult for me to win in corporate. To my corporate girlies out there, I respect y'all. Y'all are badasses. Like, I respect y'all. I respect the resilience. I expect the maturity. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. I'm about to start a new job soon. It's full-time remote. I get to be a mom again. I get to be the mom I want to be. I get to go to gym. Guys, the last time I did anything gymmy was High Rocks. That was on the 1st of March. I've gained so much weight. I don't know if to attribute that weight to stress, relationship, whatever it is. I mean, I like my body. I love my grown woman body. But like, I haven't had a routine in 6 months. 10 months, yeah. I was there for 10 months. I can finally calm down. I was always nervous, always like, I'm always in a rush, and I'm not that kind of person. I'm such a person who loves slow things. Always in a rush, always rushing to go fetch Milan, rushing to drop. Milan, run, Milan, you need to run. Milan, Milan, we late. Milan, get up, Milan. Oh my God. And one day calls me later on for our catch up. Baba, I don't have time for nothingness. What is going on? No, Mom, I just want to talk to you. What are you talking to me about? I would snap at my kids. Not anymore. I'm grateful for the opportunity, but it's time. I think it was a lesson. I got it, and also it was a lesson for me to know that, because the one thing about being because my previous job, it was micromanagement, and shame, this one there was no micro. I loved it. I loved that about it. There was no micro. I never felt micromanaged at this job, but my previous job, it was micromanagement. And when you are micromanaged, you start to lose trust in yourself, and you start to think, maybe I am a dumb bitch. And then you get to a place. I got to this place, and I was reminded that I'm not a dumb bitch. I'm good at what I do, and it's seen, it's clear. But unfortunately, the thank you was a bit weird, if you know that means anything. But like, I loved the space I was in. I wanted to stay for another year or two. I wanted to learn. I wanted to, and I could see myself. I was just like, fuck, if I stay here longer, I'm going soar. But with that being said, there's timing for everything. I guess my time ended now, but I'm very, very grateful for the relationships I made, the people I met, and especially the job I did, because it has opened me up to better opportunities, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Once again, I'd like to thank Psychic Source for sponsoring this video. Let's start. I've spoken for 37 minutes, so this vlog is not going to be as long, but let's start this vlog. Let's do what we can. I will put the link for, if you guys want to try Psychic Source, please do. Please do. As mentioned, I don't go to them to ask to tell me what's going to happen, but there are some readings where they will throw in what's going to happen. For me, I usually go for clarity and guidance. But if you want a medium, if you want to talk to the transitioned, if you want a tarot reader, an astrologist, whatever it is that you need, they've got you. Thank you so much, you guys. Let us start this vlog. Hey guys, so today was my last day at work. And I just came home, and I'm looking at this. This is my work rail. This is my work stuff. Priscilla, I'm sure Priscilla ironed. Priscilla was here today. I'm sure she ironed. This is my work rail, work stuff. And because of what I said earlier on, like what my therapist said and stuff, and finding out and get like who I am in this corporate space, I'm never gonna need this. And like, I need to clear my Shein. Guys, my Shein cards for the past 2 months, I've just been like adding tracksuits, track pants, loungewear. I stopped. Like, as you know, like when I started this job, I was so excited. I was buying corporate stuff every second month. And for the past 2 months, even before I knew where my future was going, I've been adding loungewear, tracksuits, and I'm just like, my cart is at 5 grand, and I'm just like, somebody check it out for me. But you know what, it's fine. I'll get money to check it out, and then our next Shein haul is going to be loungewear, housewear. But I'm just like feeling all the feels today, because I'm looking at this and I'm just like, some I haven't even worn, some There's some pants that still have tags. There's some shirts, blouses that still have tags. And I'm going to, some of the pants, give them to my sister, and some of the pants give them to my friend Siwi, because it's literally an end of an era for me. Like end, you know. It was great, but anyway, yeah, I just came home and I started just looking at this, and I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I never like bought like heels and 10,000 heels. I was always wearing sneakers at work. I was a sneaker girl and it worked, and at least I still get to keep my sneakers. But done, we're done. Anyways, let's start the vlog properly. I'm shooting 2 vlogs at the same time, so it's going to be quite difficult because there's a lot of things happening for me this weekend. I was just like, I'm not gonna fit everything in one vlog, so let me try and shoot 2 at the same time. So now I'm about to shoot the one you would have seen already by now. Hey guys, so obviously I'll be working from home, and obviously if you've been on this channel for a while, you know I've been working from home for a very long time. But when we moved in here, I had already started at the new job, so I never really set up my office. And while we were moving, my desk broke. And let me not say while we were moving, I never set it up properly to begin with. And then it broke, and then Shema, remember when original Rapeling was helping me move, he tried to fix it, and then one time I tried to bring it in, it fell apart. So our caretaker, I've asked our caretaker to come fix it, so my office is gonna be there. I'm gonna have to move that console table and maybe put a chair. I'll figure it out, but that's gonna be my office space over there. So our caretaker's coming to fix it. He says he's gonna come at 10. It's 9:30. He's coming to fix it. I need to go do my nails quickly, but the Alwande is here and Auntie Kate is here, so they're going to help him out. And also my friends, you got me flowers at my last day, and I haven't like put them apart yet, and Deborah was very clear about her wanting the flowers to be on my desk. So as soon as my desk is fixed, I'm going to arrange the flowers properly, and we're gonna set our office up together.
I had a dream last night. Did everything I never do in real life. I stepped into a room, told everyone to be quiet, cause I had something to say. Blew everybody away, wear whatever I want. Dressed in a gown, everybody's like, why, where you going? Nowhere special, just going to the store. I think I'd have it all, tell you I have even more. Picking a plate, being a plate, she is unruly. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed, no truly. Don't get in her way, she's not here to play, she'll get moody. But don't mistake this girl for being me, cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no, no. Cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no, no. Living in my dreams all night. Living in my dreams all night. Living in my dreams all night. She can make all the problems disappear. She could tell you the things you wanna hear. She could read your mind and that you could believe all the little lies to tell yourself at night. Never get it wrong, it's always right. Making the plate, being the plate, she is unruly. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed. existing, no truly. Don't get in the way, she's not here to play, she'll get moody. But don't mistake.
It looks so crusty. The delivery for my work equipment is here. Hello.
Making the plate, being the plate, she is on a roll. Never seen her like this, didn't think it existed, no truly. Don't get in the way, she's not here to play, she'll get moody. But don't mistake this girl for being me. Cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no. Cause these are dream rules. This is someone else, I'm not myself, no. Living in my dreams, 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 living in my
Hey guys, happy Sunday. I last saw you when I was setting up my new office, and now guys, please get ready so we can shoot the crazy store campaign. I just ordered a few stuff of chickens and I'll show you guys. We've been shooting a crazy store campaign. We were supposed to finish yesterday, but Milani got like really sick, so we couldn't. So now I just need to shoot it with the kids. But I ordered a few things of chickens, some bananas, some pineapples. Milani's gonna kill me doing this haul without her, but I'm gonna bone. Some carrots. Later on, I'm gonna go now get my car washed, and then later on I'll come back and make biryani. So I need the carrots. Oh, I forgot peppers. And the cabbage. I've got bones, meaty bones, and I actually feel for them, but I also feel for biryani. So we'll decide later on what we cook. Also got of course some wine. Oh, that's like, what's that smoke? It's not. Some mass and milk. And then the last packet, I'm actually starving. The last packet, I made myself some hot dogs. Got some rolls. Why did I buy so much juice? I think it's on sale. Some green juice as well as some cranberry juice. I think the surge juice is on sale. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. And then a bottle of red vino, because this weather, you know. What are you guys using with salt?
Oh, because
What?
I don't know. I think I brushed too hard, and then when I was putting out,
I'll see you guys when I go to the car wash.
Hi vlog.
We need to shoot this crazy store campaign. Wow.
And then the things.
The things, yeah.
Okay. Where's your copies? Oh.
Yeah, let me shoot this crazy store. Well, let me eat quickly, shoot this crazy store campaign with the kids, and then I'll see you guys when we go to the car wash. I'm going to a car wash date with my girlies. I need to leave in an hour. Yeah, we're meeting at 1:30. We're meeting at 1. It's 11:30 now, so I need to leave at 12:30. Yeah, let me see you guys when I go to the car wash.
She's putting all of her cards down on the table, knowing there's no way that she'll be able to win this one. But she's somebody else in the making. First, she just gotta stop all the faking, and she'll be there. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Somebody say, don't be afraid of loving yourself, 'cause that is all you got in the end. You got in the end. But she's wondering if it's gonna feel like she's forever. Wondering if it's gonna feel like this whenever she leaves her safe space. She leaves her safe space. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that will make her feel better? Make her feel better. Then that's where she'll go. That's where she'll go. Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own. Wondering if it is forever, or is there some place that'll make her feel better? Make her feel better. And that's where she'll go. 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 Talking to myself 'cause I don't know what I want. Yeah, I'm here talking to myself like someone's gonna respond. I'm getting tired of myself 'cause I don't know what I want. But I'm not out here on my own.
Hey you guys, happy Monday. Yesterday car wash that ended up being a groove, so we had left our cars there. I just went now and fetched mine back, and I'm home relaxing, and I started editing this vlog. And as I'm editing it, I'm looking at the part where Alwande was helping me set up my workstation, and I'm just looking at her and I'm just like you get to see me start over. Alanda has seen me start over so many times. Like, my kids get to see me start over over and over again, and I hope they take the lessons out of it. I would say you don't have to stay in places where you don't have to, you know. Obviously, for me, I've said it in this channel so many times, I've been here for long. For me, quitting a job is not difficult, you know. Leaving space is not difficult. And I remember having a conversation with my therapist about the move. Like, I have to move a lot of times, especially with move coming here. My therapist is just like, that must be obviously stressful. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's stressful, but like, I don't attach to things. And I think because I didn't grow up in like one house, you know, like sometimes you listen to your friends, their parents have owned the house that they grew up in for like 40 years or whatever. I didn't grow up like that. We moved a lot as kids, my sister and I, my mom. We moved around a lot, and so for me, I don't attach to things a lot, and that includes spaces that I live in. Yes, I love my house, or I love the space, but like when it's time to go, it's time to go. And I think as disruptive as that was for it as a child, to have to keep moving a lot and not being stable enough. I've never lived in a place long enough to call it home, basically what I'm trying to say. And because of that, it affected how I just view things. I don't get attached to things too much. I don't get attached to jobs, to homes, I don't get attached to tangible things. I get attached to people, but I don't get attached to tangible things. And it's part of the, I don't know if I'll say the upside or the downside of the way I grew up, but I think for me now it works as an upside, because I don't get attached to things, leaving is not difficult. And I'm now watching my child helping me set up this workstation and knowing that she's seen me start over so many times. I hope that Naye, she sees that and grows up and internalize that and know that you don't have to stay in spaces where they're not good for you. Once again, I know that obviously not everyone has the privilege of just deciding to up and quit a job. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying, like, in life, whether it's a bad relationship, a bad friendship, it's a home situation, whatever it is okay. It's possible. I'm turning 36 in a couple of weeks, and there's a part of me that feels like, oh my God, you're about to be 40. You need to be stable. You need to be this and you need to be that. Then I'm just like, who wrote the rules about, how by 30 you should have been married, you should have had, who wrote those rules, When I think now, like, I'm 35 going on 36, I've only been an adult for how many years? I've only been an adult for less than 20 years, so we are figuring it out. And there's part of me that just be like, you should be stable, you should be. And there's a part of me, I'm just like, no man, life is here for the living, and obviously stability is something that I want, and I want that in the form of a house. Like, I think if you've been in this channel long enough, that I've been wanting to buy a house for my children. And more than anything, and more than stability, the reason why I want to buy a house for my children this badly is because I want them to know that you can start over anytime. My sister and I were talking about, abuse in the corporate space, and how people in the corporate space can't believe that you can up and leave. How dare you just leave? And my sister and I were saying, Guti, actually, you mistreat me, I can just leave because ekhaya ngixoshiwe. And when my sister said that, I was just like, and I've always said that here, Guti, guys, my mom created a home. She bought a home for us. By the time she bought the home, I was already an adult and out of the house. But because that lady bought that home, and she worked hard to pay for it, to finish it off. Like, I think she bought it, and then I think she paid it off in a year. I think she resigned at work, got her monies, and paid it off, because she was just like, I want it to be mine. And because of that, I won't stay in a bad relationship because I know I've got a home. If I stay in a bad relationship, it will be because of me. It won't be because, oh my God, where am I going to go? I've got a home. I can't stay at a bad job because shit fuck out. I've got a home. I won't stay in abusive situations. And my mom created that for me, and I want to create that for my kids. I want them to always know that you don't have to stay in Joburg in a flat, not making ends meet. You have a home. You can always just come home. You'll always have a room. And that's the one thing that I just want to do for my children, buy them, get them a home. But outside that, outside the stability part of it, it's just that I want them to know that you can start over anytime. Come home to start over, come home to take a break, go back and restart your life. You don't have to stay in situations that are not beneficial to you. That being said, before you guys come for me, I know that not everyone has the privilege of that, and that's why for me then, I'm working hard to give my kids that privilege. I saw my mom do it. My mom is very much or sometimes she's just like, like, she's very quick, like, just come home, and that has obviously gave me an opportunity to also not stay in places where I'm just like, oh, I'm not seen here, I'm not appreciated here. That being said, yes, I was just like, I came to close this vlog, and then as I was editing it, it's midday now, it's quite late, it's getting late, but as I was editing it, I was just like, oh my God, like, you're helping me set up yet another workstation. Like, I hope that you can see it, and I hope that you know that you're not a tree. Should you now find yourself in a space where that you don't feel good in, you can start over. It's okay, you can start over. That being said, I've spent the whole weekend holding on to my little rail. I'm going to probably in another vlog though, because this one I want to close and submit it for approval. I want to take these down, and it's so crazy because I was with Siri yesterday and I know she loves brown. Already these pants I'm gonna give to her. Let me take them down. She loves brown, and I'm gonna give these pants to Siri. I think I've only worn them like twice in my life. Some of them I'll give to my sister, and some of them I'll keep, you know, like I'll keep some because as much as I've said that I'm probably never gonna go back to a traditional corporate 9 to 5, but I still, you know, if I have to go to a business meeting or those women empowerment entrepreneurship meetings or whatever, I'll still want to have 1 or 2 classic pants. Ooh, I've never even worn these ones. Yeah, they still have this thing. Yeah. Yeah, and another vlog, I'm probably just going to sort my wardrobe out. Alonde needs to wake up. Alonde sleeps, and then I'm going to go to Home Affairs now. Just go take a chance. I see on my previous vlog a lot of you guys were saying that Home Affairs, they're very strict now. You need to have an appointment. So now I'm just like, is it even worth going to go try, or should I just book an appointment? At the end of July, I'm going to go home anyway to go fetch Milani, and then just book an appointment for the Durban Home Affairs in Durban and just do Alonda's ID there. I think my sister was able to get me a pass, so to renew my passport, she was able to get me a date at the 25th of July at Merchant Place. So we'll see, man, we'll see. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I know that this vlog is gonna, you know, ruffle a couple of feathers. I already see now on my vlog that I posted, I did say that I'm gonna have a lot of time in my hands. So many of you are like, I hope you didn't resign. Guys, people's decisions cannot affect you that much, especially since you're not the one who has to take care of them should they decide to resign at their job, you know. So if you are touched by this vlog or my decisions to quit a job because I just don't feel appreciated, you can keep your concerns to yourself. You can keep them to yourself. But anyways, for those who do enjoy it, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Psychic Source for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.